The email hit my inbox at 0300 hours. I was sitting in the dim glow of my laptop, sweat sticking to my shirt in the oppressive Afghan heat, when I saw the subject line, "We need to talk." My stomach dropped. Not because those words were unusual. Every soldier knows the dread of an email starting like that, but because it was from her, my wife, the woman who had kissed me goodbye 6 months ago with tears in her eyes and promised to write every day, except she hadn't, not a single letter, no care packages, just silence. I clicked it open, my fingers stiff over the trackpad. Mark? It began. No, "Hey babe, no, I miss you, just my name, cold and final. I can't do this anymore. I've filed for divorce. The papers are with your CO. I've already moved out. It's over." The words blurred. My chest tightened like a vice. "I emptied the joint account. You weren't using it and I needed the money. Don't bother calling." I changed my number. I stared at the screen, my breath coming in short, sharp bursts. This wasn't happening. It couldn't be. I'm Mark, Sergeant Mark Rivas, and in that moment my entire life shattered. I must have read that email 100 times, searching for some hint of regret, some explanation. But there was nothing, just 4 brutal paragraphs ending with, "Good luck over there," as if I'd just gotten a bad performance review. I tried calling anyway, straight to voicemail. I checked our bank account, zeroed out, every damn penny gone. The money I'd been sending home, the savings we'd built together over 5 years of marriage. Poof! I sat there in the dark, my hands shaking, my mind racing. Why? Then I remembered the last time we'd video chatted 3 weeks ago. She'd been distant, short answers, wearing makeup at 10 p.m. "You're going out?" I'd asked. "Just drinks with friends," she'd said, avoiding my eyes. I should have known. The next 48 hours were a blur. I went through the motions, PT, patrols, briefings, but my mind was back in Ohio, replaying every fight, every red flag I'd ignored. The way she'd stopped wearing her ring when I wasn't home, the way she'd roll her eyes when I talked. About re-enlisting, the way my buddy Derek had started checking in on her while I was gone. Derek. My stomach twisted. He was supposed to be my friend, the guy who'd promised to look out for her. I pulled up his Facebook. There it was, posted 2 days ago. A picture of him at some bar, arm around a woman in a low-cut red dress. Her, my wife. The caption read, "When life gives you lemons." I closed the laptop before I put my fist through it. That's when I realized this wasn't just a divorce, it was a war, and I was just getting started. The wheels of the C-17 hit the tarmac at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, and for the first time in my life, I didn't feel relieved to be home. I was back on American soil, but nothing was waiting for me. No wife, no savings, just a duffel bag full of sand-stained uniforms and a head full of questions. The first thing I did was check my apartment. Empty, not just of her, of everything. The TV we'd bought together? Gone. The couch we'd picked out at IKEA? Gone. Even the goddamn coffee maker I'd bought with my first deployment bonus? Gone. She'd stripped the place like a thief in the night. I dropped my bag on the bare floor and walked to the bedroom. The closet doors hung open, half her clothes still inside. She'd left the hangers, the cheap stuff, took anything with a tag. Then I saw it, a single sticky note on the mirror. "Keys are on the counter. Rent's paid through the month. Goodbye, Mark." I crumpled it in my fist. The next blow came when I called my bank. "Sergeant Rivas, I'm sorry," the rep said, voice dripping with pity. "The joint account was drained on the 14th. There's nothing we can do. She was a signatory." "How much?" My voice sounded hollow. 27,432.18. I closed my eyes. "My re-enlistment bonus, my hazard pay, every extra cent I'd sent home. Gone." I hung up and did the math. My base pay wouldn't cover rent. My car was in her name. Even my dog, our dog, a rescue mutt named Rex, was gone. "Took him to a farm," her email said. Bullshit. I crashed on a buddy's couch that night, staring at the ceiling. "You okay, man?" he asked. I almost laughed. Instead, I pulled out my phone and opened Instagram. There she was, Lindsay, smiling in some rooftop bar, Derek's arm around her waist. Thus new beginnings. I clicked on Derek's profile. Same shit. Gym selfies. A new watch. Watch the Rolex I'd bought myself after my first tour. Then I saw the caption, upgrades. My blood went cold. The final knife twist came a week later. I ran into an old friend at the PX. Mark? Oh man, I heard about you and Lindsay, he said, shifting awkwardly. Heard what? That you know, that you cheated, that you blew all your money on some girl overseas. I stared at him. She said that? He nodded. Yeah, man, she told everyone, even your mom. My mom, I called her immediately. Mark! Her voice was stiff. I was wondering when you'd finally call. My stomach dropped. Mom, whatever Lindsay told you, she showed me the messages, Mark. Those pictures. What pictures? But I already knew Lindsay had lied, fabricated evidence, turned my own family against me. I sat in the PX parking lot, gripping my phone, the world spinning. I had no money, no home, no reputation, just rage. And then, like a switch flipping something, inside me hardened. This wasn't rock bottom. It was the foundation. I woke up on my buddy's couch with a single thought burning in my skull. I'm not done yet. The old me would have raged, would have drunk myself stupid, called Lindsay every name in the book, maybe even showed up at Derek's place swinging. But the military had taught me patience, and war had taught me strategy. I grabbed my laptop and got to work. First, I needed money. I took every shift I could at the base. Extra guard duty, motor pool repairs, even janitorial crap. At night, I flipped gear on eBay. Old uniforms, tactical equipment, anything I didn't need. It wasn't much, but cash was cash. Then I found the side hustle, private security gigs, off-the-books work for rich guys who wanted ex-military at their. And parties. One of them, a silver-haired contractor named Hargrove, liked my bearing. You're quiet, he said, sipping bourbon at some rooftop fundraiser I was guarding. I like quiet. 2 days later, he offered me a job. $300 a night to babysit? His warehouse shipments. No questions asked? I didn't ask. I just took the cash. Next, I needed intel. I created a fake Facebook profile, some generic guy named Chris Taylor, and sent Lindsay a friend request. She accepted within an hour. Her feed was a parade of luxury. Dinners at high-end steakhouses, weekend trips to Vegas, a brand new BMW lease. All funded by my money. Derek was in every photo, grinning like the cat who got the cream. I screenshotted everything, then I dug deeper. Her LinkedIn showed she'd quit her nursing job, yet somehow she was living like a lottery winner. That's when I found the GoFundMe. Help me rebuild after military spouse abuse. My jaw clenched. She'd raised over $15,000 from sympathetic strangers, spinning a sob story about me being a violent alcoholic. The comment section was a witch hunt. Soldiers like him are why I don't. Support the troops! You're so brave, Lindsay. I wanted to vomit. Instead, I bookmarked the page. Evidence. The legal fight was a dead end. Divorce court favored her, and without proof of fraud, I'd never see my money again. So I stopped playing. By the rules, I drove past Derek's place one night. His garage door was open. Inside, my mountain bike, my weight set, even the goddamn signed Browns jersey I'd had since college. I took photos. Then I noticed the plates on his truck. Expired. By 6 months. I smiled. The final piece came from an unlikely source, Hargrove's warehouse. Turns out my security gig was guarding imported luxury cars. Some legit, some questionable. Hargrove caught me eyeing the paperwork one night. You're smarter than you look, Rivas, he said, lighting a cigar. I stayed silent. He exhaled smoke. I heard about your wife. My head snapped up. Relax, he chuckled. Small town. I also heard she's shacked up with that toolbag who runs the used BMW lot on Route 8. I froze. Derek didn't sell cars. He was a mechanic, Unless Hargrove saw the realization hit me. Yeah, kid came into some money recently. Funny how that works. I left that night with two things. A $500 bonus for discretion. The name of Derek's new business partner. A known credit fraudster with 3 pending indictments. By month 3, I had everything I needed. The fake GoFundMe. The stolen property. The shady car lot laundering money. But the best part, they had no idea I was coming. Lindsay's last Instagram post was a champagne toast. When karma is on your side. I saved the photo. Karma wasn't on her side, I was. I waited until 3:07 a.m. on a Tuesday to make my move. That's when Derek's security system would be offline for its weekly update, a detail I'd learned from the installer's son at the gym. The USB drive in my pocket contained everything, bank records, screenshots, even the GPS logs from Lindsay's phone, courtesy of her still logged-in iCloud on our old iPad. But tonight wasn't about digital warfare. Tonight was personal. The car lot's chain-link fence rattled as I scaled it. My boots hit the asphalt with barely a sound. Moonlight glinted off rows of BMWs and Audis, all suspiciously new for a used lot. I moved past them to the office. The lock gave way with 2 picks and a twist. Inside smelled like stale energy drinks and Derek's cheap cologne. I didn't touch the safe, didn't need to. The real treasure was in the filing cabinet's false bottom, a trick I'd seen him use back when we were friends. Bingo. 2 ledgers, one for the IRS, one showing the real numbers, and tucked between them, a notepad with wire transfer details to an offshore account. I photographed every page. Then I left something behind, a burner phone loaded with screenshots of Lindsay's emails planning the account drain. Let Derek find. That phase 2 started at dawn. The local news station's tip line got an anonymous email with the GoFundMe fraud evidence. The IRS got the car lot ledgers. And every donor to Lindsay's campaign received a zip file titled "Where Your Money Really Went," complete with receipts for her Louis Vuitton spree. But the masterpiece? A billboard on I-75. I'd paid cash to rent it for one day. Giant letters. Screamed Lindsay Reavers, heroic survivor or con artist. Below it, a QR code linked to all the proof. By 9 a.m., it was trending on Reddit. Lindsay called me 17 times that morning. I let it go to voicemail until the 18th. "Mark, what the fuck did you do?" Her voice was pure panic. I sipped my coffee. "Morning, Lindsay, miss me?" "You're going to jail for this. You'll what?" I interrupted. "Lie more?" "Too late. The IRS is already at Derek's lot. Your GoFundMe's been frozen, and your new friends, they've seen the video." Silence, then weakly. "What video?" I hung up. The video, Derek bragging about scamming dumb veterans' wives, had been emailed to every country club member who'd welcomed her. The dominoes fell fast after that. By noon, Derek's lot was swarming with state troopers. By 3 p.m., Lindsay's Instagram was deleted. And by dinner, a breaking news alert: local businessman arrested in multi-state title washing scheme. Derek's mugshot looked good in orange. I saved the final play for midnight. The storage unit Lindsay had rented, using my stolen money naturally, was Unit 114 at Store All on Maple. The manager, a retired Marine, was happy to let me in after. Seeing my ID, the roll-up door revealed everything she'd stolen: my grandmother's silver, my deployment souvenirs, even Rex's dog bed. And in the back, a fireproof lockbox. Inside, $18,000 in cash and every piece of jewelry she'd ever lost. I took only what was mine. The rest, I left it for the police, along with a typed confession from her leaked emails about draining our accounts. The knock came at 6 a.m. Lindsay stood on my doorstep, mascara streaked down her face. "You ruined my life." I leaned against the doorframe. "No, Lindsay, you ruined yours. I just turned on the lights." She lunged at me, then froze when she saw the body cam in my hand. "Smile," I said. "You're on camera." As she stormed off, my phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. Hargrove says you're available for more work. Dinner tonight? I looked down at Rex, now curled at my feet after the shelter called me about an abandoned dog. Guess we're back in business, buddy. The sun rose. Over my quiet street, the same sun that was just coming up over Derek's jail cell, over Lindsay's empty bank account, over the ashes of their lies. Justice tastes better than revenge. But damn if revenge isn't sweet.